Omnia Media is an MCN, or multi-channel network. Well, it's a multi-channel network? Well, essentially, it's usually a scam. It's a remnant of old YouTube. They got big at a time where, as a creator, you had no way of talking to literally anyone on YouTube. So let's say you get a copyright claim, you get a demonetization, and MCN would have a YouTube contact to help you sort that problem out. But nowadays, there's YouTube support. I drew a YouTube over here. There's YouTube support. It's not incredible, but it's like something, so we don't need MCNs anymore. The business model of a classic MCN is that you sign to them, and the money that you get, you split it in some sort of percentage deal with them. Sometimes it's 90 to 10, sometimes it's 95 to 5. But with Omnia, some creators were with them on a 0 to 100 deal, meaning Omnia didn't take any percentage, but could report their earnings, which was good as a public company because it made their business seem more profitable. So I found out about all of this a few weeks ago from my friend George Memulus. He then posted a video called "I'm Being Scammed, Serious." It's a good thing that he put that serious in there, because I would have thought that he's making some sort of prank, but this is a good clarifier. So here he explained why he originally signed with Omnia with a 100 to 0 deal. They'd help him with legal stuff, with music.
I was on a 100-0 contract, meaning I don't give them any money, and in return, I get some perks. And also, I've been in this network for years, since 2016, and I had never had any issue with payments. Like, it was comfortable to stay. That was until November of last year, when my payment came through a month after it typically would.
So yeah, George is one of a bunch of people I know that have been signed to Omnia Media since they were, practically teenagers. I've met people who work for Omnia Media. I guess there wasn't really any reason to suspect that what's going on now would happen. So yeah, George states here that he hasn't been paid in months.
That was until November of last year, when my payment came through a month after it typically would.
So George got his payment a month late. Something seemed suspicious. George goes on to say that he used to have friends who worked in Omnia Media, but there has been a bit of a shakeup. In 2020, the company was bought by Enthusiast Gaming. What's Enthusiast Gaming, you may be asking? Is it a company for gaming enthusiasts? Yeah. They got a bunch of esports things, Luminosity Gaming being the most prominent of the bunch, and they're doing great. In letter to board, Enthusiast leadership asks CEO to step down. That's from a few years ago. In the letter, which was viewed by the Washington Post, the group cites failures around strategic planning and equity distribution, which, gives you a lot of confidence as a person who may be signed to their MCN. In March, Enthusiast abruptly laid off a significant portion of the editorial staff at its esport and gaming news website, Upcomer. So yeah, the overall company above Omnia Media has not been doing very well. This is 2 years after they bought Omnia Media. So after a few late payments, he gets this. Hey George, due to administrative and organizational changes, all Omnia payments can now be expected to be made at the end of the payment time period, permitted under your contractual terms. So what this means is that the deal that George signed with Omnia permits them to pay him after 45 days. But even though that was part of the contract, up until that point, people signed under Omnia didn't really have to wait that 45-day period. They would have got their money before that.
For a majority of Omnia contracts, this will be 45 days after the end of the month in which we receive the payments. All future payment questions should be directed at, and it's a support email, which doesn't ever reply. For the most up-to-date responses and timelines, thank you for your patience as we have undertaken these administrative and organizational changes.
Those changes being that they're failing financially. Please have patience with us as we lose all of your money. As we take your money and put it in other stuff, like how they do in a Ponzi scheme. So if we're talking about sort of a time scale here, so far we got 2020, Enthusiast buys Omnia. 2022, they start having massive layoffs at Enthusiast, a lot of problems happening. The CEO steps down. Late 23, start of 24, they announce a new schedule of payments. In January, it seems like CoffeeZilla begins to investigate this whole situation. Alert, alert, alert. If you haven't been paid by Omnia Media or would like to blow the whistle on this company, get in touch with me. You can comment below. I'll DM you. There's about 1 billion people who messaged him after that point. Hi there, I haven't been paid by Omnia Media yet, and it's a new month. This is now the third time it's happened, and I've received nothing from them since the start of the year. FNAF9 getting scammed. I got paid on the 29th of December for October earnings, and now my Omnia Media dashboard would update. The payments would usually be 1 month behind, but with internal issues, it looks like they've got a backlog. I'm owed 2 months of pay to date. That's always a good sign that a company's doing well. So then CoffeeZilla made a whole video about it on his second channel.
Omnia Media was a massive one. On their website, they advertise working with the Sidemen, the Misfits, Cold Ones, XQC. You can see all the creators they're working with. You probably recognize a few. Now, some of these people have terminated their relationship with this network as we're talking about it. So this doesn't necessarily apply to everyone. But a lot of creators on that list suffered from lack of payments in November and December of 2023.
Now, funnily enough, if you go back to the website and we compare it to like the people that we saw here, all the people that they kind of advertise, if we click on talent, they're almost all gone. There are like 1 billion people there when CoffeeZilla went through it. They all just disappeared now. They're like, I don't want anything to do with this. Give me my money and just leave, please. They got Thanos snapped out of the website.
And they reported that in total, about $2 million was owed.
$2 million! What the fuck? $2 million! These scams are so prevalent in like YouTuber stuff. Because he signed to a thing and everyone's like 20-something years old and like, how the fuck are you supposed to trust anyone? And then CoffeeZilla contacted them. They sent him a response. Hello, we can confirm that Nick's departure was for personal reasons and is unrelated to any changes related to our Omnia network. For context, we're currently realigning payment expectations for our creators that move away from historically early payment practices and shift back in line with our contractual terms. Due to this, many creators have asked to unlink their accounts, requests we are honoring regardless of their terms and lock-in periods. These creators have also all been made aware of their contractual terms and the expected payment schedules. Now, to restate here, a lot of people have not been made aware of a lot of things. Omnia is being late to contact everyone and respond to everyone. So, just to put that out there, we do expect the confusion surrounding these administrative changes to die down over the coming months as our creators become accustomed to the revised timelines within their contractual terms. And in April, more and more creators started talking about this. For the last 7 months, I've been held hostage by We Are Enthusiasts and Luminosity and Omnia Media financially, as they have been delaying all my payments months later to what we had originally agreed on. If anyone's been wondering where the main channel videos have all been, I'll say this: Alex and I are part of the same network. His concerns are my concerns as well. It's incredibly infuriating. Same thing happened to me. Been a stressful 6 months. Whatever suits run that godforsaken piece of shit snake company can rot in hell, and anyone considering being involved in anything they touch should probably reconsider. And in May last month, George has tweeted out this. It's a pretty long tweet. There are a few key things in it. Thing number 1, they are withholding 5 figures of his money as well as money of many other YouTubers. Thing number 2, they've spent months pushing back payment dates as far as they can. They're now paying AdSense money 3 months after it would typically arrive. George states, my December earnings were paid out late as per our contract, and yesterday was the last day they could hold my January earnings, and I've been told I may not be paid until the end of June. This is a clear breach of our agreement. I'm not sure in what world they think this is acceptable. On top of that, I have been straight up lied to on numerous occasions about when I will receive payments. They've also sent threats to myself and other creators who have gone public or suggested that they'll go public. Enthusiast Gaming is a joke of a company. Their stock is through the floor with little hope of recovery, so it's no surprise this has caused an immense amount of stress on myself and other creators. At one point, they were holding several months worth of our revenue and a company on the verge of total collapse. YouTube has to step in and take action against bad actors in the industry like this. They are actively mocking the people that make the platform what it is. Considering the amount of scandals that have followed MCNs, just the variety of them throughout the years, I genuinely do not think that they should be allowed to operate on YouTube anymore. Their whole business practice relies on something quite predatory. If you remember Machinima back in the day, the amount of scandals that stupid company had, Jesus Christ. Their whole business model is signing up creators usually around when they're starting off. Again, a bunch of the people I know who sign up to Omnia Media did so when they were teenagers. And then just eventually down the line, they fuck over everyone. And the most recent updates on this is that Forbes made an article about this at the end of May. I don't think it really states anything that we haven't mentioned up until this point. And George posted an update.
Omnia Media, a YouTube MCN owned by Enthusiast Gaming, currently owes tens of thousands of dollars to multiple influencers who are or have previously been signed to the company. With previous payments arriving late, this has caused a lot of stress for stars who have been impacted. Yeah, I'm a star. That's me. I'm a star. But yeah, no, this...
Feel yourself, George. That's okay. You are a star. George is a very nice guy. He's a good friend. He's really cheap, though. He's, so, you know, I feel like this situation must have hurt him more than the other people affected.
But yeah, no, this has been horrible. It's been so stressful. Thankfully, I managed to get most of my money out of that sinking ship, but
So after a few months, he managed to finally get his money back, most of it at least. Just get your money out of MCNs and don't ever sign up to one. Whatever reason an MCN gives you that you should sign up to them, it's a lie. An MCN is very different from an agency. I have a manager who gets me sponsorships. That's cool. But a manager doesn't just have control of literally all the money that comes into me. And he doesn't have the ability to decide that I don't get any money for a month or for 5 months or whatever it's been for George.
They were holding on to multiple months worth of my revenue, and that drove me crazy. They owe me about a month's worth of ad revenue now, which is still a lot, but honestly, I wasn't expecting them to pay me anything, even though it's my own money that I earned and I am entitled to.
So yeah, good stuff. Got paid. And this is another email exchange that they had. Hi, today is the final day for you to pay my January earnings. Please confirm this will be sent today. Goes back to that, please respond, blah blah blah. In this message, after them not responding, he threatens them with a public statement. And then less than 5 minutes later, they respond. They stop ignoring him. Hello, George. Thanks for reaching out. We are currently working on a resolution to ensure your payment is being made in a timely fashion. Just corporate f***ing crap. At this moment, we do expect the outstanding balance to be cleared in full by the end of June. We have no additional information to share at this moment on a concrete timeline, but we'll be sure to update you as soon as we do. So yeah, this seems to be their final response. It's in the Forbes article. Omnia is still owned by Enthusiast Gaming and intends to honor all of the creator's contractual entitlements as it has done for its over 10-year history as a YouTube scam artist. That's not what they said, but that's just how I feel about MCNs. There are currently tough economic times and short-term industry headwinds that have led to us making tough decisions and executing significant layoffs, no different than many other companies such as Riot Games, Amazon, Twitch, okay, whatever. There shouldn't be late payments because you shouldn't be using that money, right? I mean, the whole thing of them taking the 100% and then giving it to them is fishy as is. It's a very weird business model. But let's say, yes, you're going for this business model, you shouldn't be using that money. That's not yours by any means. And for that reason, there shouldn't be any late payments. These layoffs, alongside other stuff, have led to these temporary delays in creator payments. However, we do intend to honor all of these payments, which I hope happens. All creators have direct access to communication via the Omnia support email, which sadly only works if you threaten either legal action or a public statement. In addition to this, any creators that have asked to disconnect from Omnia Network due to the delays have had those requests honored ahead of their contractual end date. I mean, you mention a contract all the time, but this is a contract that you broke. So you're not really doing them any favor. You broke the contract and therefore you're releasing them from the contract. You're not some sort of charity organization. We appreciate the creators' patience throughout this time, and we look forward to continuing to provide new revenue and monetization to the 3 creators that have stuck around with us. I mean, I really can't get over this page. Like, have you seen the CoffeeZilla video? They had like 300 people here. It's been 1 month. They're all gone now. Jesus Christ. We're almost at 100k. As many of you know, at 100k, I will make a video about pencils. This is a thing that I said that I will do as a joke a few months ago. And then everyone, it's in every comment section. So I will be making a video about pencils at 100k. Okay, goodbye.